Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Let's not waste no time. Let's get right to it. So, there have been huge comebacks from big deficits in the history of the NBA playoffs. The one that I can remember are the Lakers, who came from 29 down at one point against the Seattle Supersonics to sweep the Seattle Supersonics. So there was the 18-point comeback by Phoenix in 1994 over Houston. They won that game in overtime, 124 to 117. But there have been large comebacks from big deficits in the playoffs over the years. But the comeback from the deficit usually starts at a certain point in the, say like you're down 20 in the second quarter. Then you start chipping away at it. And then in the third quarter, you're chipping away at it. And then by the fourth quarter, you have the game tied up. Or you are close enough to win the game. Okay? So, which brings me to the topic of the largest comeback in the fourth quarter in NBA playoff history. Okay. Game 3 of the 2002 Eastern Conference Finals. New Jersey Nets at Boston, where the Celtics were playing horribly the whole game. Okay. And so they were down by 21 in the fourth quarter. Okay. But before we get to all that, the Celtics missed the playoffs the last 6 years. But by 2002, excuse me for a second, my mouth is real dry. Yeah, forgot my hot water. I thought I could tough it out with that my water, but no, I can't. Okay, so by 2002, the Celtics had a winning record again. Jim O'Brien had took over the previous season for Rick Pitino. Celtics had finished 36-46 in 2001, but they went 49-33 in 2002. The Celtics did attempt 24 threes a game that season. Defeated the Sixers and the Pistons. Okay, the Nets, who had finished 26-56 the year before, went 50-32. Defeated the Pacers and the Hornets. So at one point in games 1 and 2 in New Jersey, Paul Pierce was shooting badly, and one of the signs one of the fans held up was, "Someone please stab Paul Pierce." For those of you who may not know, Paul Pierce got stabbed shortly before the 2001 season, if I'm not mistaken. He got stabbed and survived. Praise God that he's survived. So the Celtics started out game 3 horribly. They were only 3 for 21 in the first quarter. At one point in the first quarter, the Nets were shooting 73%, and the Celtics were shooting 7%. Okay? For those of you who did not hear me, the Nets were shooting 73% at one point in the first quarter, and the Boston Celtics were shooting 7% in the first quarter. Pierce was 0 for 5 in the first quarter. He had 1 point and 1 rebound. That's a Nets led the Celtics 28-13. At one point, they did cut the lead to a 6 in the second quarter. But the Nets went on like an 11-0 run at the end of the second quarter to have a 20-point lead at half. Pierce was only 1 for 5 in the second quarter. Lucius Harris scored 10. As I already said, the Nets led by 20 at the half. One of the people who had a really big game for the New Jersey Nets, who was not expected to have a big game, was Aaron Williams. Aaron Williams, number 34 for the New Jersey Nets. He had 17 points that game. And so Kerry Kittles was playing well. Lucius Harris was playing well. Jason Kidd, he always plays well. Kenyon Martin played well. And all of this added up to a 74-53 lead at the start of the fourth quarter for the New Jersey Nets. Celtics had 17 turnovers, and they were shooting 30%. Okay. But if there's one thing that the New Jersey Nets did not do well for the first three quarters, they didn't shoot free throws very well. Okay. They missed a ton of free throws. The New Jersey Nets missed a ton of free throws in the first three quarters, and they missed more in the fourth quarter. Nonetheless, they were still up 74-53 at the start of the fourth. The NBA on NBC showed Antoine Walker chewing out his teammates and chewing out Paul Pierce. So the Celtics all of a sudden went on a 11-0 run. 11-0 run. Paul Pierce scored 7. Paul Pierce scored 7 of those 11 points. Paul Pierce also had 19 of 28. 19 of his 28 points in the fourth quarter. So the Celtics were down by 21. Then they were down by 19. Then they were down by 10. 8. 6. Then they were down by 4. The Boston Celtics didn't tie the game or take the lead until 46 seconds left, okay? The only lead they had in the game was when Paul Pierce hit a free throw at the start of the game to give the Celtics a 1-0 lead, okay? So, in those final 46 seconds, Kerry Kittles turned the ball over. Kerry Kittles turned the ball over. Anderson hit a layup. Antoine Walker blocked a Keith Van Horn 3-point attempt. Pierce hit a free throw. Then the Nets came down and shot some threes, but the game was already over because the Celtics led 94-90 at that point. And so they were down by as much as 26 in the third quarter. They were down by 21 heading into the fourth quarter. And they outscored the Nets 41-16 in the fourth quarter of that game. Pierce shot 8 for 21. 28 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Antoine Walker, 8 of 18. 23 points, 12 assists, and 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. Okay? And so the Celtics had the largest fourth quarter comeback in playoff history in 2002, down by as much as 21 in the fourth quarter. Okay. So that honor goes to the Boston Celtics. Mike Breen and PJ Carlissimo, who were on the call for the NBA on NBC, they never saw anything like that. I remember watching that game. I never saw anything like that. And I thought it was going to be Lakers Celtics that year. But unfortunately, New Jersey rebounded and took the next 3 games to win the series 4-2. So Nets were pretty resilient to bounce back after that, because that would have killed any other team. But yeah. All right. That's it, and that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I'm out of here. May God bless you all. See y'all on the next one. Peace.